Welcome back to the ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel. Today we're diving into the explosive return of Dr. Britt Westburn to Port Charles and the potential chaos it could unleash, especially with Lulu Spencer ready to defend her territory. The buzz in Port Charles is reaching fever pitch as whispers of Dr. Britt Westburn's imminent comeback start circulating through the town's winding streets and bustling hospital corridors. Fans of the show know that Britt has always been a force of nature, blending sharp medical expertise with a personal life that's anything but straightforward. Her history in this tight-knit community is laced with triumphs, heartbreaks, and enough drama to fill several seasons. Now, after what seemed like an eternal absence, she's poised to step back into the spotlight, potentially shaking up relationships and old rivalries. But lurking in the shadows is Lulu Spencer, whose protective instincts could turn this homecoming into a full-blown showdown. Lulu has proven time and again that she's not one to back down from a challenge, especially when it comes to safeguarding her family. Remember how she relentlessly pursued the truth in other people's lives? It's that same unyielding determination that might now target Britt, pushing her to the edges of town before she even unpacks her bags. Imagine the tension building as these two strong-willed women cross paths once more, each with their own agendas and unresolved grudges from the past. Lulu's track record speaks volumes about her no-nonsense approach to conflicts, often leaving a trail of exposed secrets and shattered illusions in her wake. Take, for instance, her recent entanglement with Brooklyn Quartermain Chase, a saga that unfolded like a meticulously plotted thriller. When Lulu emerged from her long coma, she didn't waste a moment in zeroing in on Brooklyn's carefully guarded world. Brooklyn, desperate to maintain her privacy, attempted to steer clear, dodging conversations and keeping her distance at social gatherings. Yet Lulu, with her journalist's intuition and a dash of personal vendetta, refused to let it slide. She poked and prodded, inserting herself into situations where she wasn't invited, all in the name of uncovering hidden truths. This persistence led to the bombshell revelation about Brooklyn's pregnancy and the subsequent adoption deception, a web of lies that had been spun with the utmost care. Adding layers to this drama, Lulu delved deeper, unearthing the identity of the real father of young Giovanni Joe Palmieri. It wasn't just a casual discovery, it was a calculated move that upended Gio's entire sense of self. Picture the young boy, innocent and trusting, suddenly confronted with the fact that his foundational family story was built on fabrication. The fallout was devastating, amplifying the emotional stakes for everyone involved. The climax of this particular storyline hit its peak during the glamorous, yet chaotic 2025 Nurses' Ball, an event that's always ripe for unexpected twists in General Hospital lore. Amid the glittering lights, elegant gowns, and charitable toasts, Joe stumbled upon the truth in the most public way imaginable. The revelation struck like a thunderbolt, causing him to unravel emotionally right there on stage, his breakdown playing out before a stunned crowd of Port Charles elites. Gasps echoed through the venue as friends and foes alike watched the young man's world crumble, his tears and confusion becoming the unintended centerpiece of the evening. Some viewers might even label Lulu's tactics as borderline bullying, suggesting she wielded her influence like a weapon, feigning friendship with Joe to twist the knife deeper into Brooklyn's side. By positioning herself as a confidant to the boy, Lulu gained insider access, using it to fuel her rivalry and keep Brooklyn on edge. This wasn't just meddling, it was a strategic campaign that highlighted Lulu's cunning side, blending genuine concern with a competitive edge. However, such bold moves come at a price. In her quest for justice or perhaps personal satisfaction, Lulu inadvertently sabotaged her own romantic prospects. Her interference created ripples that distanced her from Dante Falconeri, the man she's long hoped to reunite with. Their potential reconciliation, once shimmering with promise, now hangs in limbo, a casualty of Lulu's relentless drive. It's a reminder that in Port Charles, every action echoes, often in ways that circle back to haunt the instigator. Shifting gears to Britt's side of the story, her path back to Port Charles has been nothing short of adventurous, filled with high-stakes rescues and unlikely alliances. It all began at the luxurious yet perilous Five Poppies Resort, a tropical haven that turned into a nightmare for several residents. Enter Jason Morgan, the stoic hero with a knack for timely interventions, who swooped in to orchestrate a daring escape. He didn't just save Britt, he also rescued Jocelyn Jacks and the enigmatic Vaughn, ensuring their safe passage back to the familiar shores of Port Charles. The operation was a masterclass in stealth and bravery, with Jason navigating treacherous terrains and evading unseen threats to bring everyone home. This act of valor not only underscores Jason's enduring role as a protector, but also sets the stage for Britt's re-entry into a town that's evolved in her absence. As previews tease, Lulu's reaction to this development is pure shock, her face paling as if she's encountered a specter from her nightmares. The sight of Britt, alive and vibrant, will hit Lulu like a freight train, especially at this precarious moment in her life. After years of assuming Britt was out of the picture, Lulu must now grapple with the reality that her old adversary is back, potentially disrupting the fragile balance she's been trying to maintain. Complicating matters further is the recent upheaval in Lulu's family dynamics, particularly involving her son Rocco Falconeri. The boy has just uncovered the intricate details of his birth story, a revelation that sparked a deep curiosity about his biological roots. Rocco, with the wide-eyed wonder of youth, has been on a quest to piece together his heritage. Eager to understand the woman who gave him life, Britt herself, his determination led him to reach out to Liesl Obrecht, Britt's formidable mother, in hopes of gleaning insights and stories about his bio-mom. Liesl, ever the dramatic matriarch, likely shared tales laced with her own flair, painting Britt in hues of complexity and resilience. This budding connection between Rocco and Liesl has been a thorn in Lulu's side, stirring up feelings of insecurity and protectiveness. She's watched from afar as her son forms bonds that challenge her role, making it all the more difficult to navigate this new chapter. With Britt's return looming, Lulu faces an uphill battle in shielding Rocco from what she perceives as a disruptive influence. Keeping Britt at arm's length might prove futile, given the town's interconnected web and Rocco's growing insistence on knowing his full story. Lulu, known for her clever schemes, will undoubtedly brainstorm creative ways to exile Britt once more, perhaps through subtle manipulations or alliances with mutual acquaintances. Yet, what Lulu overlooks is Britt's profound growth during her time away. The doctor has transformed, shedding old skins and emerging as a more empathetic figure. Her experience is forging a wiser, more grounded version of herself. In the broader tapestry of Port Charles, Britt's evolution hasn't gone unnoticed. Many residents have warmed to her, embracing the good doctor for her contributions to the community and her medical prowess. She's become a pillar in the hospital, offering not just treatments but genuine compassion to patients in need. From saving lives in emergency rooms to mentoring younger staff, Britt's presence has woven her into the fabric of daily life here. However, not everyone shares this sentiment. Lulu's cousin, Carly Spencer, remains a vocal detractor, her disapproval rooted in past conflicts and territorial instincts. Carly's history with Jason adds another layer, as whispers of old romantic entanglements resurface. If Lulu digs into the details of how Britt and Jason parted ways, particularly Jason's choice to wed Carly instead of committing to Britt, could weaponize that vulnerability. Imagine Lulu subtly planting seeds of doubt, reminding Britt of heartaches long buried, all to hasten her departure. It's a tactic that plays on insecurities, potentially making Britt question her place in this unforgiving town. At the heart of Lulu's machinations is a deep-seated fear that Britt's prolonged stay could forge unbreakable bonds with Rocco, eroding the progress Lulu has painstakingly made in reconnecting with her son. Lulu's own journey back to Port Charles after a 4-year hiatus has been a roller coaster of emotions, marked by efforts to rebuild fractured relationships and reclaim her spot in her family's heart. She's poured energy into mending ties, from heartfelt conversations with Dante to nurturing moments with Rocco, all while adjusting to the changes that occurred in her absence. The last thing she needs is Britt swooping in, charming her way into Rocco's affections and complicating this delicate reconstruction. As the story unfolds, viewers can expect fireworks, with alliances tested and secrets spilling out in true General Hospital fashion. Will Lulu's plots succeed, or will Britt's newfound strength turn the tables? Next, we're uncovering the sizzling September couples shockers that are set to ignite Port Charles, with passion, betrayal, and unexpected twists as the fall season kicks into high gear. The air in Port Charles is thick with anticipation as autumn winds whisper secrets of romance and intrigue through the town's iconic landmarks. From the bustling Quartermain mansion to the serene docks, where so many heartfelt confessions have unfolded, General Hospital fans are in for a treat this September, with the soap opera delivering a quartet of jaw-dropping developments involving budding couples, sneaky sabotages, and underhanded schemes that could reshape relationships forever. These storylines promise to blend the thrill of new attractions with the sting of old wounds, keeping viewers glued to their screens. Whether it's the spark of forbidden desire or the fallout from risky decisions, Each twist adds layers to the characters' lives, reflecting the complex web of emotions that defines life in this dramatic enclave. As leaves turn golden and temperatures drop, the heat in Port Charles is only rising, fueled by these four explosive pairings that tease everything from tender admissions to potential heartbreaks. Let's dive deep into each one, exploring how these developments could evolve and what they mean for the beloved residents. We've followed through countless ups and downs, starting with the first bombshell. Molly Lansing Davis is gearing up to bare her soul to the ruggedly charming Cody Bell, a move that's been building like a storm on the horizon. Molly, with her sharp legal mind and a heart that's been quietly yearning, has harbored deep feelings for Cody, the stable hand whose rough exterior hides a sensitive soul shaped by his own turbulent past. Picture her finally letting those emotions spill out in a moment of vulnerability, perhaps during a quiet evening at the stables where the scent of hay and horses sets a surprisingly romantic backdrop. Cody, too, has been wrestling with his own affections for Molly, complicated by his history of guarded walls and impulsive choices that once defined him. In the old days, Cody might have bolted at the first sign of real connection, vanishing into the night like a shadow. But this evolved version of Cody, tempered by recent trials and personal growth, seems ready to plant his feet and embrace authenticity. Will he reciprocate with the same fervor, leading to a stolen kiss under the stars or something even more intimate as the weeks unfold? Imagine the electricity crackling between them, turning a simple conversation into the start of a passionate affair. Fans are buzzing about whether this confession paves the way for a lasting bond, or crumbles under the weight of their individual baggage, including Molly's family expectations and Cody's lingering secrets from his con artist days. Next up, the dynamic duo of Jocelyn Jacks and the mysterious Vaughn, with no last name to speak of, are poised to navigate the uncharted waters of their connection now that they've escaped the dangers of the Five Poppies Resort. This tropical ordeal, fraught with peril and high-stakes missions, forged an unbreakable bond between them, one that transcended mere survival. Back in the familiar rhythm of Port Charles civilian life, Jocelyn, ever the fierce and independent young woman shaped by her mother's resiliency, and Vaughn, with his enigmatic aura and shadowy background, are ready to unpack the wild emotions that surged during their adventure. Remember, their intimacy peaked in the heat of the moment after they took down a formidable villain, disposing of the evidence in the dense, unforgiving woods, a scenario straight out of a thriller novel. The adrenaline of that night lingers, turning what could have been a fleeting encounter into something profound. As they explore these feelings, perhaps over clandestine meetings at hidden cafes or late-night walks along the waterfront, the question looms: is this a romance built to last, with roots deep enough to weather Port Charles storms, or merely a fling born from the chaos of their shared mission? Vaughn's secretive nature adds an extra layer of intrigue, hinting at untold stories from his past that could either strengthen their tie or drive a wedge between them. Jocelyn, drawing from her experiences with past loves like Oscar and Dex, might find in Vaughn a partner who matches her intensity, but only time will tell if their chemistry endures beyond the resort's shadows. Shifting to a younger, fresher vibe, Giovanni Joe Palmieri and Emma Scorpio Drake are on the cusp of transforming their platonic, living situation into something far steamier, all under the watchful eye of Emma's grandmother, Anna Devane. These college co-eds, thrown together in Anna's cozy home as temporary roommates, have been simmering with unspoken tension that's impossible to ignore. Joe, still reeling from recent family revelations that shook his world, finds solace in Emma's bright personality and shared youthful energy, while Emma, with her adventurous spirit inherited from her spy lineage, sees in Joe a kindred soul navigating life's uncertainties. Their setup might seem innocent study sessions turning into late-night talks about dreams and fears, but the sexual undercurrents are building to a boil. This month, expect them to shatter the friend zone with a tentative yet electrifying kiss, perhaps sparked during a moment of emotional openness in the living room, surrounded by Anna's antique decor that whispers of past intrigues. Will this bold step destroy the solid friendship they've cultivated, one built on mutual support through Gio's identity crisis and Emma's own family dramas? Or could it propel them into a deeper, more meaningful connection, blending romance with the comfort of companionship? Adding to the mix is Anna's potential reaction. The seasoned operative might view this development with a mix of protective concern and reluctant approval, drawing from her own history of complicated loves. Imagine family dinners turning awkward as Joe and Emma steal glances, their new dynamic rippling through the household and possibly drawing in other relatives like Robin or Finn for added commentary. Finally, the steamy entanglement between Doctors Isaiah Gannon and Portia Robinson is heating up, with Isaiah pushing for something more substantial than their current flirtatious escapades. Portia, the dedicated physician and mother who's no stranger to life's curveballs, has been enjoying the thrill of this workplace dalliance, treating Isaiah as a welcome distraction amid her marital woes. Isaiah, however, with his charismatic presence and genuine affection, is tumbling headfirst into deeper feelings, envisioning a future where their stolen moments in hospital on-call rooms evolve into a committed partnership. He's set to confess his desires outright, perhaps in a heartfelt conversation during a quiet shift, laying bare his hopes for a life together despite Portia's married status. This revelation throws a spotlight on Portia's complicated world, where her husband, Curtis Ashford, remains a pivotal figure, loyal, resilient, and now potentially facing betrayal. Curtis, with his own history of secrets and second chances, is bound to have strong words if he uncovers the affair, possibly leading to confrontations that echo through the halls of General Hospital. As Portia stands at this crossroads, she'll make a decisive pivot in her messy personal life, weighing the excitement of new love against the stability of her marriage. Could she lean toward Isaiah's passion, embracing a fresh start filled with promise, or recommit to Curtis, mending the fractures in their bond? This storyline delves into themes of fidelity and desire, with Portia's choice potentially sparking ripple effects for her daughter Trina and the extended family network. As these September shockers unfold in Port Charles, the blend of new romances, risky confessions, and potential sabotages promises to deliver the high-drama General Hospital is famous for. From Molly's bold admission to Portia's pivotal decision, each pairing adds fresh intrigue to the canvas. Next, we're delving into the spine-chilling possibility that Caesar Faison, the notorious villain of Port Charles, might not be as dead as everyone believes, stirring up old fears and fresh mysteries in this ever-twisting soap opera saga. In the unpredictable world of Port Charles, where death often feels more like a temporary inconvenience than a final curtain call, the notion that no one stays buried for long has become a hallmark of the show's enduring drama. Think about it. Characters have vanished in fiery explosions, plummeted from cliffs, or succumbed to rare diseases, only to re-emerge years later with new faces or elaborate explanations. This eerie pattern keeps fans on their toes, constantly questioning the finality of any farewell. Now, all eyes are turning back to Caesar Faison, the master manipulator, whose 2018 demise seemed definitive at the time. Shot down in a blaze of confrontation, his body was presumably laid to rest. But recent episodes are planting seeds of doubt that sprout like weeds in a neglected garden. It's as if the writers are teasing us with subtle clues, reminding us that in General Hospital, even the most airtight coffins can spring leaks. Faison's legacy of terror, marked by his chilling obsessions and ruthless schemes, continues to cast a long shadow over the town, influencing everything from family ties to international intrigues. As autumn settles in, these hints are building toward what could be one of the most shocking resurrections yet, forcing residents to confront ghosts they thought were exorcised forever. Imagine the ripple effects: alliances shattered, secrets unearthed, and a wave of paranoia sweeping through the Quartermain estate and beyond. Flash back to that fateful year of 2018, when Faison met his apparent end in a hail of bullets, a climax to his reign of psychological torment that left Port Charles breathing a collective sigh of relief. The villain, known for his twisted genius and unyielding grudges, had terrorized the community for decades, kidnapping loved ones, faking identities, and weaving webs of deception that ensnared everyone from Anna Devane to his own offspring. His death scene was dramatic, fitting for a character of his caliber collapsing in a pool of blood amid cries of vengeance from those he'd wronged. Yet, the Monday, September 8th episode has reignited speculation with a conversation that's anything but casual. Valentine Casadini, the suave schemer with his own closet full of skeletons, found himself under the microscope during an intense grilling by Jack Brennan, a figure whose motives are as murky as the harbor waters. The topic: Colette Moreau, a shadowy operative from the past whose loyalties have always been questionable. Valentine casually dropped that. He recalled Colette serving as a double agent for Faison back in the day, her role involving espionage that crossed borders and blurred lines between ally and enemy. This nugget of information hung in the air like a challenge, prompting Brennan to assert that Faison had long since departed this world. But Valentine, with his trademark smirk and cryptic flair, responded with a loaded "if you say so," a phrase dripping with implication. It was a moment that screamed subtext. suggesting layers of hidden knowledge that Valentin might be withholding, perhaps from his time entangled in Faison's dark empire. Brennan, not one to let such a comment slide, pressed further, reminding Valentin and the audience see off the grisly detail that Faison's brain was preserved in a jar, a macabre trophy or scientific curiosity sitting forgotten on some dusty shelf. This image alone evokes horror movie vibes, conjuring visions of mad scientists and unnatural revivals in dimly lit labs. Valentin conceded the point about the brain but pivoted smoothly, emphasizing that while the man might be gone, his insidious organization endures, a Hydra-like entity with heads regenerating in secret corners of the globe. This exchange isn't just dialogue, it's a breadcrumb trail leading fans to wonder if Faison's influencier, even his physical presence, persists. Perhaps that jar isn't the end, but a ruse, a clever misdirection in a long game of cat and mouse. Inventing new layers here, one could speculate that Faison's network, fueled by loyalists like Colette, has been quietly rebuilding, funding clandestine operations from hidden bunkers in Europe or shadowy warehouses along the Port Charles docks. Valentin's reluctance to fully dismiss Faison's survival hints at insider intel, maybe from intercepted messages or overheard whispers in elite circles. It's this kind of subtle scripting that makes General Hospital a masterclass in suspense, where every line could be a clue to a larger puzzle. Delving deeper into Faison's storied history, it's clear why his potential return feels both plausible and terrifying. The villain, who embodies the 9 lives of a cat, repeatedly clawing his way back from the grave. Remember his earlier deaths? Faked accidents, staged suicides, and miraculous escapes that left authorities scratching their heads and victims in perpetual fear. Each resurrection brought escalated chaos, from brainwashing schemes to explosive confrontations that scarred the Devane family tree. In a recent interview with TV Insider, GH co-head writers Chris Van Etten and Elizabeth Court dropped tantalizing hints about the fall lineup, weaving Faison into the narrative without outright confirmation. They teased that Anna Devane, the indomitable superspy with a personal vendetta against Faison, will be utterly captivated by the astonishing comebacks of Dr. Britt Westburn and Nathan West, Faison's own children, presumed lost to the void. Britt, with her medical brilliance and complicated morals, and Nathan, the heroic cop whose death rocked the town, returning from the dead. It's the stuff of soap opera legend. The writers suggested that Anna's intuition will scream that only someone with Faison's diabolical resources and obsessive drive could have orchestrated such salvations, pulling strings from beyond the supposed grave. Perhaps he used cutting-edge technology, black market deals, or even cryogenic experiments to defy mortality, adding a sci-fi twist to his villainy. Court and Van Etten elaborated that Anna's autumn arc revolves around peeling back the layers of truth behind these miraculous survivals, a quest that draws her ever closer to peril with each question she poses. As she digs into encrypted files, interviews reluctant witnesses, and follows leads to abandoned facilities, the danger mounts, echoing the high-stakes chases of her past. This investigation isn't just professional, it's deeply personal, given Faison's lifelong fixation on Anna, toxic blend of love and hatred that turned him into her ultimate stalker. He pursued her across continents, manipulating events to keep her in his orbit, his obsession manifesting in kidnappings, impersonations, and psychological warfare that left lasting scars. Now, as Anna probes the returns of Britt and Nathan, the narrative builds toward a potential face-to-face encounter with her nemesis, a reunion that could unleash terrifying consequences. Imagine Anna cornered in a dimly lit warehouse, Faison's voice echoing from the shadows, his eyes gleaming with that familiar madness. Such a twist would not only upend Anna's world, but send shockwaves through Port Charles, affecting everyone from her daughter Robin to allies like Robert Scorpio. The writer's hints paint a picture of escalating threats, where Anna's pursuit of answers might expose vulnerabilities in her own life, perhaps endangering her loved ones or forcing her to confront buried traumas. Wrapping this all up, the breadcrumbs from recent episodes and writer teases make a compelling case for Faison's survival, a development that could redefine villainy in General Hospital. His organization thriving in the background suggests a puppet master still at work, pulling strings on characters like Valentin and Brennan. For Anna, this means treading a path fraught with danger, where uncovering the truth about Britt and Nathan's resurrections might lead straight to Faison's doorstep. Fans are left pondering, could this iconic antagonist truly be alive, ready to reclaim his throne of terror? Or is it all an elaborate red herring, Share your thoughts in the comments. Do you believe Faison has cheated death once more? Stay locked into our channel for every update as this mystery unravels, promising chills, thrills, and the kind of drama that keeps Port Charles spinning.